This is Rave Rant, episode 1, and this will be talking about Brooklyn's finest and the Academy Awards predictions. Now, I had some excitement in saying this because I had already seen Anton Fuqua's Training Day, and another collaboration with Ethan Hawke would be pretty sweet, right? Wrong. Absolutely wrong. I just don't understand what they're trying to go with this movie. It didn't have a message. And I like movies with messages. I mean, that's not usually something to ask for, but this didn't really seem to have anything. Like Training Day, you weren't sure. Maybe Alonzo or Denzel Washington was correct. I mean, as brutal as his methods were, they were effective. Yeah, I mean, this movie had a lot going for it. I just don't know what happened. I have to. It's granted, it's the first time I've watched it. I've still got to watch it again, see if I missed anything, but it won't probably be game changing if there is something I missed. I mean, the performances were the best upside. Not the characters, mind you, but the performances were great. Yeah, the characters weren't interesting at all, but the performances were great, like Ethan Hawke and Richard Gere. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to move on to the Academy Awards. Anyway, I would give it 5 out of 10, seeing it the first time. Maybe if I watched it again, it would be awesome. Now, I know I made another video about this already, but it was so intensely vague that I felt obligated to make another one. And this one has gone to most awards, except for the ones I haven't seen. I can't really obviously judge on that. Alright, I'm going to start off with visuals. Gotta go with Inception. Yeah, I know that you know this was coming. Just the visuals are just so fucking cool. I mean, they're no Avatar, but hey, they don't need to be. I mean, it's not you like Avatar. It's not using the visuals to cover up for the flaws in the story. It's not doing that. It's just going to make it all the more better. And just the way everything's played, it just looks so beautiful. I mean, it goes kind of hand in hand with cinematography, the choice of camera angles. It all looks so wonderful. But yeah, the hallway fight scene was just so cool. And that's all I have to really say about visuals. But anyway, moving on. Next is sound mixing, or what little knowledge I have on the subject. Gotta give it to Social Network. Yeah, you may not like it, but I love this movie. It may not be as good as Inception, and that probably gives you a hint my intentions as to what the other awards are going to be, but I could not praise this movie nearly enough for me. It's just that good. But yeah, there are a lot of awards left for this particular movie, so just watch out if you're not a big fan. Sound editing. Now, I would give this to Social Network also because it seems to just be like the same thing almost. Um, but because Tron Legacy only got one nomination, I had to give it to that. That movie was awesome. And the fact that it only got one was, it's not best picture material. But hey, it wasn't trying to be pretentious like Scott Pilgrim. Yeah, I hate Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I'll get back to that. In fact, that'll be my next video. Why Scott Pilgrim sucks. But yeah, I just didn't like it. Anyway, Tron Legacy, sweet. Even if the critics didn't say it was awesome, I loved it. I thought it was better than the original actually, because it wasn't. It was the same thing, only better. I mean, I thought it was gonna get best visuals, but hey, whatever. Moving on. Best score, gotta give it to Hans Zimmer for Inception. It was, I mean, just that bomb, bomb. I know it's used a lot, but it's still cool. And I know this is coming from the guy who copied his Gladiator score to Pirates of the Caribbean score, but hey, it was still just so catchy, and I've watched that scene, like the hallway fight scene where it's just Joseph Gordon-Levitt fighting that other guy with that bomb, bomb, bomb. It's just so cool. Anyway. Yeah, the official score is called The Dream is Collapsing, but still, I just prefer to call it bomb, bomb, bomb. Anyway, best editing, I give it to The Social Network. I would have given it to Inception. I thought Inception did it better, but The Social Network was really good too, and Inception wasn't even nominated, which I thought was interesting. Best documentary has got to go to the only documentary that I've seen of this year, Strepo. It's just an incredibly viscerally exciting war film. Period. Best costumes, True Grit. Gotta go to True Grit. I haven't given many awards for that. In fact, I won't, but it's just that cool. It's not as good as Inception or Social Network. Yeah, I may not be a costume designer, but they did a very good job on that. It looked very realistic. And I only have although one award to give out to this film. That's just because Inception and Social Network are sweeping it at the Oscars. Best cinematography. Inception, you knew it was coming, but just like the visuals, they're great. The camera choices are just amazing, and I love everything just sweeps. You feel like you're in the movie. You feel like you're flying around in gravity. You feel like you're in a dream within a dream within a dream, and then in limbo. Anyway, that's all I can pretty much say about that. Best production design or art design. I know that the Oscars count them as one of the same thing, so we're gonna give it to a True Grit. All the buildings looked very 1800s. I was gonna give it to Inception initially, but I felt like this movie didn't get enough awards, so it's gonna get 3 awards. I have one more to give it. Um, yeah, best animated feature. Gonna go also like documentary. It's gonna go with the only sorry, not documentary. The only animated feature I've seen this year, Toy Story 3. I haven't seen How to Train Your Dragon yet. I've heard that's good, but Toy Story 3 was awesome. I mean, for those who don't know me, I'm not a big animated feature fan. I like Akira. That's probably my favorite animated feature. That's the only one that stands above the rest. But usually I just find all Pixar's to be insipid piles of crap. But well, whatever. I'm moving on later. As a movie, it's still good. And yeah, that's obviously that's what I have to give it to because it's the only animated feature I've seen this year. But maybe I'll check them out and maybe I'll change my mind in a further video update. Best Supporting Actress. I'm gonna give it to Haley Steinfeld, sorry, of True Grit because it's the only supporting actress. I mean, Movie Bob, one of my favorite movie reviewers, made a good point about how it's mostly her story, so she should be Best Leading Actress. By the way, I don't have a prediction or a preferred win for best actress because I haven't seen any of the movies. I haven't seen The Kids Are All Right or any of that. So, but best supporting actress, she was great. I mean, she almost held her own with Jeff Bridges, and that's no easy task. Or Matt Damon, really. Matt Damon did a great job too. Didn't expect that. Best supporting actor. I gotta give it to Jeremy Renner. I thought he was gonna win for The Hurt Locker last year. He didn't. So this is like a consolation prize, pretty much. And that's how I view pretty much the whole Academy Awards. They're all just a campaign for making money for those movies. But usually they have good choices. Anyway, moving on. Jeremy Renner, great. I thought I was scared shitless of his character actually, but yeah, I mean that movie deserved a reward somehow. I thought Ben Affleck may have gotten to best directing nom, but whatever. Best leading actor. This may come as a surprise to so many of you, but I'm gonna give it to Jesse Eisenberg of The Social Network. I just thought he was played so well. His character was great. I mean, like a lot of people accuse them of making Mark Zuckerberg look like an asshole. I thought he looked pretty sympathetic to me, making an asshole. And that's probably why I give him this award, is because he makes an asshole look sympathetic. But yeah, I think he was played very well, even though he had a great writing writer, Aaron Sorkin, and that really helped a lot. But yeah, he was played with such with a lot of nuance and subtlety to his character, which is not what I see a lot of days. So I just had to give it to him. Jeff Bridges was great, but he came this close. I was like, this is harsh, but Jeff Bridges did win the Oscar last year, and I didn't want to be like the Tom Hanks back-to-back win. Best adapted screenplay. First thing I gotta address is the best part about The Social Network is adapted screenplay, and that's why I give it to Aaron Sorkin. It's so well written. Dialogue is almost Quentin Tarantino-esque. That's why I love Quentin Tarantino is his dialogue. The dialogue was so catchy and just so hilarious that every time it cut to another scene, I left with my jaw dropped to the ground. That's how good it was. Anyway, Aaron Sorkin, hope he writes more. I know he did A Few Good Men, which was also really good. Check that out if you haven't seen it. Yeah, and I thank God, by the way, that they split it up and adapted it an original, because you'll see. You'll see. I just had to give original to Inception, or Chris Nolan anyway. Now, you probably saw this coming, like everything else here, but also Inception, really well written. Dialogue may not be as good, but the story was through the roof. It was just great, plot wise and story wise, just great. Yeah, Chris Nolan deserves one for in consolation for Memento anyway, which is just an appalling snub for Memento not winning it. Anyway, best director, gotta give it to David Fincher, because I definitely think he deserves one by now, and his direction was just great. The interactions, everything was just so believable. So he made The Social Network probably would have otherwise been a bullshit piece of crap, and yeah, the direction was just great. There's nothing like he even beat out Chris Nolan in this aspect, I think. But yeah, it was so well done. Just he made it just like all the creative changes were just beautiful. It was all good. Didn't ever feel slow. Just get new surprises every time. And but he did beat out Chris Nolan only by a small like snippet. And Best Picture goes to Inception. Bomb, bomb. Anyway, yeah, it's everything. It just beat out Social Network that much, or by an inch, really. Um, Everything was just great, besides the dialogue being a little inferior to, and the direction being a little inferior. But everything else, it's the most entertaining film to watch this year. So yeah, I mean that pretty much sums it up for me. PC out.